No, seriously, think about it. Why is it that gaming used to be so easy and now it seems so difficult to have fun? And trust me, it's not the game's fault. Same thing goes for other hobbies, like playing an instrument. Your guitar or piano is probably collecting dust like you used to collect Pokemon cards. It really seems like as we get older, we actively ruin the things we love. And I think I figured out why. The day it stopped being fun. When I was young, gaming was all I wanted to do. I clearly remember the urge I had to wake up at night and sneak to the family computer or my console to play the game. Because back then, throughout the week, my parents only allowed me to play 30 minutes a day, and on the weekend it was 1 hour a day. So I always had the urge to game more, and I did. But that involved a heavy thumping heart and being scared of my dad finding me. Because that would mean I was not allowed to play the game at all for a few days. When I got older, my parents stopped enforcing that rule so strictly, and here and there I even played 2 hours a day throughout the week. But only as long as school performance was still upheld, which it was, here and there. Now you might think that the more freedom I got, the less fun gaming became, but that's just not true. For a few years my fun with games peaked at an all-time high, but since that was a peak, the fun did go away eventually. And the same thing happened to other hobbies as well. It just didn't seem that exciting anymore. The urge I had for 100%ing a game was just gone. It seemed like such a waste of time, and that feeling got even worse. Because if 100% was a time waste, then the whole game was probably a waste of time, right? And like I already said, this mindset started to work itself into every hobby I had. Nothing was fun anymore at all. Now work was more important, a career, grown-up life, you know? It felt like everything I ever loved was gone, and it seemed to happen so fast. But why? When curiosity becomes performance. I think one big part of why things become less fun is the following. The reason we started a hobby was never the outcome of that hobby. When you first started playing an instrument, you were probably still in school. Maybe your parents had the idea for you to start playing, or you yourself wanted to. There was curiosity for learning to play this instrument. What do you mean I can make music myself? Yes, that's all the motivation I needed back then. Imagining myself playing the piano and producing music that way, it was an incredible feeling. And that was my main motivation. And let me tell you, it was so much fun. Learning new pieces, getting better, receiving compliments from my piano teacher and seeing him get prouder and prouder. It was just amazing. But also just for myself, I could play music whenever I wanted, and it was unconditionally fun. Sometimes I even tried to write my own music, although that didn't go very well. It was still a whole lot of fun. But this is now exactly the point where things change. I wasn't able to write my own music, but others could. I did learn new music pieces, yes, but not as fast as I would have liked to. I wasn't getting better as fast as I was in the beginning. I measured my performance every time I played the piano. It wasn't about fun anymore. That phase was long gone. Now all that mattered was my skill. Was I good enough? Was I getting better? Why was this person better than I was? And worst of all, can I become a professional pianist? What? Let me be honest here. I never wanted to become a professional and make money from it in the first place. But then again, why should I keep playing the instrument if there's nothing to gain from it? And that same mindset goes for gaming. It's fun, you can explore different worlds and live literal fantasies, but eventually you worry that you're not good enough and you are wasting your time and you definitely can't monetize your Skyrim adventures, so why even bother playing anymore? Because it's fun, duh. Okay, fair point, but sometimes that's not enough. Because if it's only fun and not anything productive, you do it less and less. Because there are more important things to do, productive things, or at least that's how it was for me, and that became a huge problem. The optimization trap. Now, I'm not saying productivity is bad, not at all. Just keep that in mind as we continue with this point. We tend to over-optimize everything in our lives. And again, that isn't inherently bad by itself, but it can push away other things that are also very important in your life. But how exactly does that optimization look like? When I was in school, I came home, did some homework, and then okay, never mind, that's not true. I came home and instantly started gaming. Then, after a bit of gaming, I thought to myself, wait, do I have homework? And in most cases, the answer was yes. So, with a lot of annoyance, I dragged myself to my desk and did said homework. That was followed by going outside or gaming some more. So you can see, my day was filled with a lot of fun and doing whatever I want. The weekends looked the same, but without school, of course. Although there was always some studying to do. As I got older, more and more responsibilities entered my life. Even simple things like longer work hours or starting to work out to stay fit. I didn't receive more hours in a day, I just had to do more with the same 24 hours. So what's the thing you push away? Fun. I did more productive things like work and making sure I stayed healthy. At the same time, I always had the urge to do more than just do my 9-to-5 job. So I also tried to be productive with something else on the side. Sometimes that was YouTube, other times it was writing a novel or learning a new skill. I tried a lot of things, but never really finished anything, if I even started said thing. So maybe that actually shows that over-optimizing everything and just trying to be more and more productive isn't always the right way to improve. But still, I spent time doing it and had less time for fun activities like gaming or playing an instrument. Oh yeah, and I used to enjoy drawing too. Oh well. Now again, I'm not saying productivity is bad. That's not true. I actually love staying productive. It makes me feel like I'm doing something for my future and spending my time wisely. But it has the annoying side effect of making everything that isn't inherently productive seem useless. So as long as I'm doing a gaming YouTube channel, gaming is productive. But when I enjoy a game just for myself, that's unproductive. You better stop doing it. Right, and that's just very unhealthy, I'd argue. The weight of expectations. I saw quite a funny meme recently. The caption was, "Me whenever I'm not immediately good at something I never did before." And then it shows a video of someone playing pool and not even hitting the white ball. He then walks away with a hanging head. It's a funny meme, but it's way deeper than I initially thought, especially because it's true. When I was a kid, I tried new things left and right and didn't care how good I was or not. I just did it because I didn't feel like I had to invest time into learning it. But over time I got better and it was even more fun. I think back then I wasn't even able to think about an activity the way I do now. But if I try to learn something new today, I immediately compare myself to others, and for that comparison it doesn't even matter if that person has been doing it for years by now. The worst part about all of this is I know that I'm actively doing it, and I also know that it's wrong. But still, I expect it from myself, that I'm instantly good at a new skill. Like, what do you mean I can't instantly create a beautiful song without ever having written a song before? I mean, if I was able to, it would kind of be a disrespect to everyone who had to learn this skill for years. So really, the weight of that expectation is dragging me down, and even if I start a new hobby or skill, I'll stop pursuing the thing because I'm not instantly at the skill level I want to. Try to think back to the last time you had a situation like this, because I'm sure it hasn't been too long since that happened to you. For me, it actually was this YouTube channel. I created my first video and I knew that it wasn't possible for it to reach a lot of people because YouTube didn't even know which niche I was targeting. Still, once uploaded, I checked the analytics every hour, only to see that it hasn't changed. I felt like a failure, even though the reason I created this channel was precisely to talk about things like that. I guess reflecting on a problem doesn't automatically fix it. I still struggle with this. I don't have it figured out, but maybe noticing it is already a step in the right direction. Learning to love again. Alright, how do we fix things? First of all, I think it's important to look at it as not fixing something, but rather adjusting your view on it. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say I know that I would still like gaming if I had no responsibilities and would live indefinitely. If that's the case, then I can try to look at having fun while doing something as a productive thing. Let's say you work the whole day, get home and prepare food, exercise and do something like YouTube or a side business or nothing, whatever. After all of that, you were quite productive and you need a break. That's the case for every human being. We need a break sometimes or it leads to burnout. So what I started doing is this. After doing the productive things throughout the day, I would intentionally take some time for myself, an hour or two to play some video games or listen to an audiobook, knowing that it's entirely for fun. But I know that it was already productive throughout the day and that I reached my limit and therefore could just either waste this time by scrolling endlessly, but that's something that usually just drains me, or I can play 1 hour or 2 hours of video games and forget about all my problems again for once. That way I don't feel guilty about doing something just for fun. And at the same time, pressure goes away too. I know I don't want to become a professional pianist, and now that doing something for fun here and there is totally okay, playing the piano is suddenly fun again. And that's precisely because performance and expectation doesn't matter anymore. I'm not trying to make a piano the thing that's productive. I know that it's just for fun, and therefore it is fun again. Does that make sense? I realized that when I look at my hobbies that way, they start to become fun again as soon as I adjust to that new way of thinking. And of course, there are still times where that thinking doesn't work. And hey, maybe I go to bed earlier on that day. Just make sure that throughout your productive day you also give yourself some room for fun. Because in the end, living your life should be enjoyable and fun, and you can not only achieve that through productivity. Do you ever feel like you forget to have fun? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this video was helpful or at least entertaining. Have a wonderful day.